What's going on, everybody? Chris Classic dropping a car vlog. Just got off of work. I know a lot of people are having service today, or they're not. But just remember that God loves us. God tells us about a lot of the things that are going on in the world now. He's also told us about the pain that we went through. I mean, He sent His Son to die for our sins. And all we have to do is believe and follow what He says to do. You know, pain is just one of those things in life. Death is a part of life. Death is not the opposite of life. It's just a part of the thing. So, like I said, praying for people, thankful people getting out of depression. People are finding things and revealing who they really are and everything like that. So, God bless. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel. That's my YouTube page. Me and my wife, our pro wrestling company. We got some shows from our previous shows. We got our matches, and then now I'm setting up promo stuff for our show in January. I want to talk about one of my favorite matches. Now, this might not be a top 5 for me, but it is one of my favorite matches. I liked the setup, I like the execution, and I like the reactions. I'm talking about Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, Survivor Series 2016. Now, before this, there was a speculation that Brock and Goldberg were going to go against each other because Goldberg said he was ready to go back and he called out Brock, basically. So then there was a small back and forth between these two. Now, at the time, I didn't think that this was going to happen. I truly didn't. I just didn't. I didn't think that Goldberg was going to come back. They were saying, like, he hasn't wrestled in, like, 12 years. So I was like, I just don't think that he's going to come back. But usually, money talks. And eventually he started showing up to Raw. And, got in Brock's face, had a couple scuffles and stuff like that with security, talked about the kid. Brock talked about Gabe, his son, and stuff like that. It was good build-up, though. Regardless of how you feel about both guys, it was good build-up. Goldberg is coming back. Not only is he coming back, he's bringing back fans who watched WCW. When I was a kid, Goldberg was one of my favorite wrestlers. Like, to me, I thought he could beat everybody. He could beat Stone Cold, he could beat The Rock. Maybe not The Undertaker. Undertaker was my other favorite wrestler. Like, Goldberg was my favorite in WCW, and Undertaker was my favorite in WWF, now E. So that was my thing. So we'll talk about their match that happened. Oh, God, we'll talk about that another time. But Goldberg was the man. So with everything going on, and then after WCW was purchased by WWE, I was excited for him to be in WWE. And then, we see how that went. He had a championship. He had a match with Brock. A lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. It was okay. The first match at WrestleMania 20. It was all right. So basically, he was done. A lot of us were playing him in the video games. We were excited. Goldberg's in 2K. Yay. And stuff like that. So then they started doing his promo stuff. So he came in. He said, he's older. He's a lot slower. He wants to be a superhero for his son because his son never seen him wrestle live. That's a tearjerker right there. That gets people's hearts because a lot of people want to do things in front of their kids to where kids get inspired to do anything that they want to do. He was very old here at this time. Gray in his hair, looked a lot small. People call him Oldberg for a reason. And people were laughing because they were using outdated pictures of Goldberg when he had brown beard, basically. Didn't dye black, didn't use the Rogaine or the Beijing. Anyway, it's a good story. Brock Lesnar had beat Undertaker at WrestleMania and broke the streak not that long ago. So people were like, dang, who's going to stop Brock? Nobody's going to stop Brock. Like, there's no way. The only way you would beat him would be a match of Extreme Rules, no DQ, triple threat or something. That's like the only legit way. You wasn't beating him on a one-on-one. You wasn't winning a fade against Brock Lesnar. So you mean to tell me that this old man, this man who has not wrestled in 12 years can come in and bully the top guy? Because Brock was also not only the beast, he was also a bully. Rightfully so. The dude was a UFC heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion. He had a lot of wins and stuff. So people cracked his weakness, and he had his illness. So this was a story in itself. You are also bringing in old fans. You have so many old fans who come in from time to time and watch stuff. Oh, such and such is wrestling. I'm going to pay attention to that. But Goldberg was the man in WCW. That back when that meant something. You know, a lot of people don't remember it. A lot of people forget about it. But he was the man outside of Hogan and Sting and stuff. This was the guy, the undefeated streak. Like that really like made people's blood boil. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, I went in looking at this match like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And then obviously Brock basically is going to get his lick back. He's going to win because he lost to Goldberg at WrestleMania. So I was like, he's going to get his lick back. Like nobody's beating Brock. Then the match happens. Their entrances alone was way longer than the match itself. And even before that, it was Survivor Series. And I felt that year, that match, those shows, that whole card was long, bro. Like, it was long. Like, was it like 11 when they wrestled? Like, that's how long the matches were. And I was like, man, like, I hope they're not wrestling for a long time. Like, man, but I'm going to stay up for it. I was, like, going in and out. I was tired. But, like I said, entrances came out. Entrances was longer than the actual match. Here come the fight. Goldberg looks tired already. If you look at it, if you have time, look at it. Goldberg looks tired already. I don't know if it was the entrance or the kick. I don't know what it was. I don't know if his heart was racing because it's been a long time. He looked like he was already tired. So I was like, okay, this might be a bad match. Then the bell rings. Brock does his bully, gets him, takes him to the corner. Goldberg pushes him one time. Brock falls. Brock is shocked. Everybody's shocked. What? Nobody just does that off of one move alone to Brock Lesnar, the dude that beat the streak, the dude that's been unstoppable. Nobody does it. What happens when he gets up? Spear. Was it? It's probably 2-3 spears. I think he hit him like 2 or 3 spears. Brock is hurt. Brock is down. But we still like, okay, nah, this can't happen. It's not going to happen this way. Because everybody knows that after the spear, jackhammers follow. So we're like, no, there's no way that this man is going to beat Brock Lesnar like this. Brock kicked out of all kind of moves, tombstones, pedigrees, attitude adjustments, all kind of moves. This man has been kicking out of moves all his life. Like, you have to do it 12 million times. You have to make sure your finishes are locked in for SmackDown versus Raw in your video game. Then, Goldberg gets him, right? This is another thing I was skeptical on. Could he even hold him up for a long time for the jackhammer? Then he does it. He hits the move. I'm like, this is not the end of the match. All of a sudden, 1, 2, 3. Crowd reaction. Shocked. Goldberg chants were louder at the end of the match than the beginning of the match. This dude became a superhero again. This dude has beaten up a guy who was darn near unstoppable. And not only did he do it, he did it in a convincing fashion. Brock slipped because he laughed. And as soon as he got up, he got taken advantage of by getting speared a couple times. And the jackhammer. It made Goldberg legit. It made Goldberg the man again without a title. The emotion that you saw with the fans, how the fans were looking, the kid with the AJ Styles glove, like just touching his friend. Oh my God, did you see that? The older guys looking up at the screen, like shocked, like Brock just lost in under 2 minutes. I think it was like under 2. Like it was a short match. Like, what are we seeing now? And I enjoyed it. Me and my cousin just jumped up in shock. Like, what? Like, what is that? We watched it like 2 more times afterwards because it was so short. It was amazing. Now, as much as I enjoyed it and the story behind it, and it even had his son. He put his son in the ring, and they celebrated. The crowd loved it. The crowd was clapping and happy. Goldberg. Kids know who Goldberg is now. They like this guy. This guy's cool. This dude, we had older guys. Like, you don't really see a lot of older guys, gray hair guys, just for men guys, just in there reacting to certain things in wrestling. They're sitting there, Goldberg. That is what wrestling can be about sometimes. A lot of people were upset with the match because they felt that WWE put so much money into it. And then they also was like, y'all invested so much time in making Brock Lesnar an unstoppable monster. By beating the Undertaker's streak, beating John Cena as quick as he did, demolishing a lot of people. A lot of people were like, well, nah, you just made Brock look weak. And I disagree. I disagree. Brock is still there. Brock is still the man. You know, Brock is feuding with Lashley as this recording is happening. So, the Crown Jewel situation, just in case you guys want to backtrack. Brock is still the man. Didn't lose any luster. He wound up having a rematch at WrestleMania for the Universal title. I believe it was the Universal title when he won it. So, didn't really hurt him. Didn't really mess up Brock's stock. Brock still is a beast, basically. It's still a monster. His music comes on, people are going to say, oh, God, who is he going to beat up? So, a lot of people were just upset with that. They were upset the match was short. I enjoyed it. Every match does not have to be a long time. Look at the impact that it did. Look at the impact that it had. I think the impact of it wouldn't have been as big if the match was longer. Like I said, Goldberg looked tired. And if you look at some of his matches afterwards, he looks tired, out of breath, hurt, dizzy, discombobulated, messed up sometimes. So this is what it was. Now, the only bad takeaway is that this is the format of Goldberg's matches, basically, until now, currently, until he comes back to decides to wrestle. But that's what it was. That was his thing. Spears and jackhammers. You might get something. Eventually he overcomes it. Spear, jackhammer. And, Brock was dang near doing the same thing, except Brock was younger and Brock was fresher, though, with German suplexes in their fives. So I can understand that. But this was the first time. This is when King Kong got knocked off the building. It was from Goldberg. Because Brock was just unbeatable. But this was the only guy that beat Brock. Well, he's not the only guy that beat Brock. But he beat Brock before. So it's just like, if he can do it one time, I talked to my homie Art about UFC. It's like, hey, if you can beat this person one time, you can beat him again. And that's what they was illustrating. That's what they was showing. Even though he was old. A lot of people probably was expecting a Michael Moore and George Foreman thing, where Moore was winning, out-punching George Foreman, but all it took was one opportunity. Cross right, knocked Moore out. The oldest guy got the championship. Now, this dude caught Brock slipping because Brock smiled. He didn't take it seriously. And as soon as he got up, boom, spear. Come another spear. Jackhammer. Goldberg, I'm back. Very important. Sometimes matches do not have to be long to draw emotion or get big reaction. A lot of people shared it. A lot of people talked about it. A lot of people was like, man, Goldberg is the man. I just want to say that even though I do this stuff on social media, on the internet, some wrestling fans don't get on the internet. There's some refuse to because they like to enjoy things without being spoiled or talked about or exposed, if you will. So this is what I'm saying. So just because a lot of people on the internet believe a certain thing or don't like a certain thing, it doesn't mean that the whole consensus is with them. Just saying that. I'm going off of what I liked, and I'm just telling you guys what I liked. If you guys liked it, let me know. If you guys did not like it, just leave a comment. We'll talk about it. I just wanted to talk about it. It's one of my favorite matches. It's not a top 5, but I love everything. The story, the build-up, the how they did everything. I think they did it very, very well. I hope you guys are having a great day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.